Hello and welcome to the Tifo Football Podcast. I'm Joe Devine, and today I've just rubbed my eyes, so they're very red. I'm joined by JJ Bull.
Yes.
Reuben Pinder.
Hello.
And all the way from Deutschland, it is Seb Stafford-Bloor.
Hello, Joe Devine.
How's it going?
Going well.
Fantastic.
Really
well, also Steve's here.
Hello.
How's it going?
Yeah.
Now, what do we talk about on today's show? Well, we have a sumptuous start to the show, right, Steve, when discussing Dominic Solanke's scorpion kick that stung Man City's title hopes. That's actually better than what you wrote in the show.
Yeah, second crack at it, yeah.
Second crack at the, yeah.
I
I don't think we actually discussed how good that goal was enough. We discussed everything around it and the semantics of his sentence, but the technique was fantastic.
If you had to pick one adjective to describe how good it was, what would you pick?
Sumptuous.
Okay, yeah, no, that's absolutely fair. We started to speak about, we started to start speaking. Wow, Steve, that's very confusing.
I've got a bit of a cold today, and the fevery bit, I think, is coming on because I am losing my mind slightly.
It's a 5 out of 10 Steve performance today. Let's be honest. We started to start speaking about Tottenham, but ended up becoming paid-up members of the Celebration Police. I don't remember that.
We ended up ending up.
We ended up ending up, exactly. Okay. We talk about Conor Gallagher's hair. We decide, is it better now at Spurs, or was it better at Crystal Palace in the past? How many different things can he do with his hair? We talk about that. Oh, and Manchester City, are they being given a far too easy ride for their recent poor form? Yes. Yes, they are, right, Steve. But also says Seb. So we discuss that. Then we play the Rondo. It's transfer related because, of course, it's transfer deadline day as we record this. Also, there's a quite exciting bit. I don't know if Seb... Oh, so he has included it, Steve. Seb had to do some live transfer ITKing, so he doesn't speak for a bit.
So important.
He's a little mini Ornstein, isn't he?
Yeah. Massive deal.
The private school finally struck large. Good lad. Good lad.
Against the odds.
Man United have won again, haven't they? That's 3 in a row now. We speak about why they've hit such a good vein of form and how much of that has to do with unlocking Bruno Fernando.
I love Bruno Fernando.
I don't know why I've never said that before. That's quite fun, isn't it?
That's a reference to what happens in the pod, not yet another typo from me.
That's right. You didn't say that.
No.
Less fun, of course, West Ham letting a 2-goal lead slip against Chelsea. Fun if you're a Chelsea fan, who've also won 5 games in a row now. Incredible. Congratulations to them. Who would be the best assassin on the podcast? We decide today that it's not JJ.
But also then that's why it is.
No.
I've talked an awful lot in this podcast today, like far too much. I don't know why my head is operating on... It's on like a...
You've talked about a normal amount of time.
Do you think so?
Yeah. Again,
why do I notice it
your
today?
ability to assess your own behavior, very poor. You'd make a bad assassin. And that's the show. I think that's about it. Isn't it? Did I miss anything, Steve?
No, all good.
No? You wouldn't know if I missed anything.
No, that's true.
You've had a terrible performance today.
It's been a bad one.
No, it was good fun.
Yeah.
You know. Well, where else to begin, of course, than with Tottenham Hotspur 2, surprising 2 there, 2 Manchester City, and also in some ways surprising 2. And in other ways, when you put those 2s together, not surprising
5.
at all. 5. Well, indeed, yeah. I mean, it's the sort of thing that could add up to a 5. Of course, Spurs came from 2 goals down, little did I know, because I decided to stop watching at half-time, to draw with Manchester City at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium over the weekend. Dominic Solanke's sumptuous scorpion kick, right, Steve, equalised for Spurs, who now sit 14th in the Premier League table.
I don't accept sumptuous.
You don't accept
scorpion
sumptuous?
kick. No, because if you were thinking about a scorpion, anything that a scorpion does, you would never describe a scorpion doing anything sumptuously.
But for Steve, therein lies the fun conflict. Is that not right, Steve?
It is.
It's exactly the kind of thing he would say.
I think it's alliteration.
I think you've over-intellectualized Steve. Right.
It's just alliteration. It's always just alliteration.
Are you saying that I've over-intellectualized Steve, or he's over-intellectualized himself?
I think you've over-intellectualized Steve.
I've done that for sure.
You've done that thing where people read Shakespeare plays and they assign hidden meaning to things which aren't really that complicated.
Big time, yeah. You know what? When I look at Steve, what I think? Out, damn Steve, out! You know?
With all the perfumes of Arabia, never get these hands clean.
Oh, God.
What?
Sumptuous means very rich, elaborate.
Scottish play.
Elaborate, or luxurious in a way that appears expensive.
Classic scorpion.
Elaborate.
Classic scorpion.
Classic scorpion, yeah.
Classic scorpion.
That's why I always think of that looks expensive.
But he's not describing a scorpion as sumptuous. He's describing the scorpion kick as sumptuous.
It'd be very sort of a really pinchy scorpion kick.
I forgot to say before we started recording, something that I've noticed that we do is because we record the intro at the end and we have a lot of fun in the intro, and we record this bit at the beginning and we have a lot of fun at the beginning, there tends to be 2 bits in a row where we're having quite a lot of fun. And sometimes when you listen to it, it's not that much fun. So what I'm trying to do now...
But we're on it.
We
don't have to listen to it.
No, we don't have to listen. That is a good
or
point.
edit it. So
That's true. That's true. But what I'm thinking is, could we try to have like no fun at all in the first 2 minutes now,
fine.
and then sort of ratchet the fun back up again? What do you think?
Sure.
I was trying to do that when I related it back to the kick itself.
I couldn't hear you because of all the fun that was happening.
Well.
What did you say?
I said that the scorpion, there was no scorpion being described as sumptuous. The scorpion kick was being described as sumptuous. And that was a very impressive bit of technique from Dominic Solanke.
That's right, Reuben. In fact, it reminds me of the Scorpion King. Do you remember him? How sumptuous he was, the Scorpion King?
Oh, but Joe can bring it back.
Well, I
I
thought
see.
it would be fun to deliberately. You don't know who the Scorpion King is?
No.
Never mind. Don't worry about it. You didn't know the Shakespeare thing either, did you? You know a lot about football.
I know, yeah.
Now listen, what was I saying? Oh, Tottenham changed to a back 4 at half time. Steve's included that. Oh, that's part of the conversation. My bad. I'm reading the wrong bit, Steve. Let me go back again. Let me row back. Dominic Solanke's sumptuous scorpion kick equalised for Spurs, right, Steve, who now sit 14th in the Premier League table. I read that bit. Man City, meanwhile, fall 2 points further behind in the title race, trailing league leaders Arsenal by 6 points. Now, the interesting thing about that, you didn't watch this game.
I have seen it since. I
Yeah,
didn't watch it
you've seen it
live.
since, no.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about this is, as I said, I left at half time.
Yeah.
I thought, well, I've got a lot of work to do. There's no way anything's changing here. I thought Man City have been pretty bad, to be honest, but they're 2-0 up against a team that look like they wish they weren't there at all. What the hell happened?
What was really interesting is if you watched the first half, it's not even as if there's a lot of acrimony. The Tottenham Hotspur fans don't sound disappointed.
No.
It's just silence, and that's quite worrying. if you're a
Apathy
coach.
is worse, isn't it?
Apathy is always worse than disenchantment or anger, and it was amazing. There was almost no reaction to either of the 2 City goals, even though they were bad. The first one was it was so easy.
Yeah.
Dragerson doesn't take any of his space away. I think the goalkeeper should do better. The second goal, horrible for Tottenham because obviously it's a couple of days after Thomas Frank said in a press conference that the club had tried really, really hard to sign Antoine Semenyo but didn't.
Oh, yeah.
And that was delivered in a way which was supposed to be reassuring and
Right.
providing comfort. And then inevitably, because this is Tottenham, Semenyo scores.
Yeah.
Um,
Nice finish.
Nice finish. Actually, his celebration, which went slightly wrong, provoked the most response of anything in the first half. There was a very
What
gentle,
happened?
ironic cheer. He did a sort of cartwheel followed by a somersault and didn't quite stick the landing of the somersault
Yeah.
and got a very sort of half-hearted,
Yeah.
sarcastic cheer.
Have we ever said before, by the way, the gall to try a somersault
Yeah, I know.
in front of 60,000 people, no, 100,000 people at the Spurs, at
60,
the Tottenham.
60.
Is it 60?
60.
That,
Where'd you get
100,000 is
100
crazy.
from?
I think I was thinking of the Camp Nou.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
That's that, I think of Barcelona and Spurs in the same sort of breath.
As do I.
I don't think I would ever try and do a somersault, even if
No.
I knew I could do one.
I feel like if you did, you generate such power that you'd never be able to stop spinning.
Yeah, that's true. It wouldn't be safe for the people in the ground.
You just fly around the Earth like some sort of UFO, and it's like, what's that?
and time would go backwards like in Superman.
It could be that. You would go back in time, yeah.
It's also kind of potentially dangerous, though, isn't it, for players? Like, do you
Big
remember
time.
Nani at United used to
Yeah.
do and like twists in the air?
He did the full sort of somersault.
He did a
twist
sort of
twist.
corkscrew, didn't he?
Yeah.
But once you can
yeah.
do those things, it's really easy. My sister was like a high-level gymnast, and she could just do these things. She did like Power Rangers flips all the time, just
Oh,
totally
yeah.
normal.
But she was a high-level gymnast.
Yeah, but once you learn to do it, it's just a normal thing, you know?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like my
but,
sister doesn't think it's weird that she walks around in her hands all the time, or used to anyway.
but do you think she would think twice about trying it in front of 60,000 people?
No, because she used to compete all the time. Not in front of that many people, but
Right,
like
right.
you still do it. And I think any amount of people watching you, you it makes you feel like you're watched.
Yeah.
So I don't think 200 is different than
One of
30,000.
one of my dad's most proper football man opinions is like very anti somersault in celebrations in football, to the point that he would even ban knee slides, somersaults, and jumping on top of other people.
What are
to prevent injuries?
What are Mr. Pinder's approved methods of celebration?
I think the Alan Shearer.
Yeah,
a handshake,
a handshake, maybe a Big Tens,
a hug, but not for too long.
Yeah,
and pop the collar up. That's
yeah,
okay.
maybe
sit around the table, have a roast dinner.
Yeah, have a roast dinner.
And you know, like in the 50s and 60s, all the clips of goals you score where celebrations aren't like their own thing yet, and it's just joy, and they just kind of jump up. They just kind of do that kind of thing.
You mean when men were men, Reuben? Back in the day, when men were men?
I just don't want United players getting injured, Joe.
No, I actually agree. I'm afraid when they somersault and flip around.
So what, did they just like jeer him for not landing properly?
A little bit, but in the way that you jeer someone who's just scored a goal to put you 2-0 down on your own pitch. That sort of vibe.
Yeah.
Not with a lot of heart to it.
Yeah.
I have positive things to say about Tottenham.
Do you?
Yeah, it's really novel.
Did you say positive?
Positive, and that's really why I came in. I mean, yesterday half time I thought, no, I'm not going to go to the London studio, but then 2 goals, scorpion kick, sumptuous scorpion kicks. I thought I'm going to get on a plane right now. They played really well, actually. When they lose that inhibition and when they actually start to play forward and show some urgency, you see the beginnings of some pretty important players. Like I thought Javi Simons played very well. His adaptation to the Premier League has not been completed, but it's underway. He seems to have put on some weight. The expression is back in his game. You saw a little bit more of RB Leipzig's Simmons in that second half. Conor Gallagher did very well. I think this has been mentioned a couple of times in the last few weeks, but you see how important Dominic Solanke is to that side, just because he's the only forward they have who's fit and healthy and available to play, but also able to hold up the ball and bring some of those other attacking players into the play around him, which, like, for the first 6 months of this season, watching Tottenham has been like watching a single guy by himself, surrounded by 4 defenders and oceans of space between him and his teammates.
And it's not Harry Kane, unfortunately.
And it's not Harry Kane, so you can't get away with it. But Solanke has made that better.
Yeah.
I would still say that there is room for Tottenham improvement, but it was okay. And also, it's very important because ahead of that game, there was going to be a boycott plan, a walkout plan in the 75th minute.
Right.
People are very dissatisfied with the running of the club and some of the spending patterns in recent seasons and the way that Tottenham have kind of lulled down the table. And didn't happen, which felt like quite a good moment.
What was the score at that point?
2-2.
2-2.
Yeah, 2-2.
Do you think if it was 2-0, it would have happened?
That's the thing. I think if it had still been 2-0, it becomes a lot easier to walk out.
Right.
Whereas
maybe
2-2,
you would have done anyway by accident.
Maybe by accident, but also maybe, it's 2-2. You want to see how the game ends. You also think, Tottenham threatened a winner. Simmons came pretty close to one at the end with that save from Donnarumma.
It seemed like night and day performances from the first half and the second half. I only caught the first half live and then was kind of catching up on the second half later. But the statistics, especially like Spurs, obviously the formation change, like you said, made a big difference.
Yeah.
I noticed like for ahead of the sumptuous scorpion kick, Gallagher's role in that goal was the epitome of what he does and what maybe they've been lacking a little bit, where there was kind of a loose ball but Gallagher looked like maybe third favourite to get there first. But the sort of player that he is, he did get there first and he put a really good cross in. And I think it's that kind of, he's not going to fix everything by himself, but like he does bring a lot when used correctly. Like he doesn't solve their deep ball progression issues, but he does help in the final third, kind of makes things
that's a really good point, because this became a real issue of contention among Tottenham fans, because Gallagher didn't solve the problem, which is ball progression, the ability to pass vertically.
Yeah.
But he certainly solved one of the problems, which is you need to have that Spurs side needed more legs in midfield, and Gallagher's a pretty complete number 8, I think.
Yeah.
Does a lot of things well. Nothing outstandingly well, but a lot of kind of 7, 8 out of 10 attributes, I would say. And so he's an asset. And
he's the kind of player that galvanizes players around him as well.
I think so. Young enough, like he's homegrown. Kaz is a homegrown player within the squad. That's really, really helpful.
He's kind of good looking.
He's really good. Great hair,
it
great hair,
matters.
great hair.
I think it makes a
I think
difference.
his hair was better at Palace when it was longer and blonder.
I think like he's able to do a lot of different things with his hair, which is a man who cannot say that. That's a great attribute.
And he's got a lovely dog as well.
Does he? I haven't
Did you
seen the
see
dog.
Spurs posted videos of him getting off the jet when he landed from Madrid.
Good dog.
Oh yeah,
Beautiful dog.
It was a very attractive
Like
dog.
a bear
dog.
That's
Yeah,
good.
a
That's good.
long-haired bear dog. Now let's talk about Manchester City a little bit as well, JJ, because they were pretty bad. I thought. I mean, I only watched the first half. They scored 2 goals in that first half, both of which kind of felt as though they came a little bit out of nowhere. But then, some familiar problems of late, unable to close the game down. They just don't look like Manchester City. I know that's a bit of a weird
I
thing
don't
to say,
think they
but-
look bad at all.
Do you really think? You really think so?
I thought they looked like so in control and so at ease in that first half that that's
Really?
pretty much why they ended up basically. I know they didn't lose, but it feels like they lost it. I feel like there'll be tactical stuff that's probably happened that I couldn't see it live. But I think what did happen was that City players were just. It's like you're so at ease that you don't have the same drive in the second half. Like this is easy, lads. Like they should have been about 3-4-0 up in the first half. It was dead easy. Tottenham, I was tweeting about it. I think it looked like they weren't, like you said, they weren't even there really.
Yeah.
They're just like the end of 5-a-side at night. Everyone's like a bit tired. You start doing stupid stuff. They weren't really playing with any aggression. They had more defenders there, but whatever that was. And then the second half, I think Tottenham came out and were far more at it. But I think City just sort of dropped off. And I think that's probably part of the mentality thing that must be really doing Guardiola's head in. Because the tactic stuff, like all the football men say, and I agree with, like it's important. But I don't think Thomas Frank is gonna like out genius Pep Guardiola. Do you know? Like
I'm going to interject with a proper football manism.
Please
and
do.
say, like, you squandered a 2-0 lead against Tottenham, who had 12 fit players, who just had to substitute their captain because he's ill. Like, I think Guardiola's had a little bit of an easy ride for that game. I think that it also, if you compare the way these clubs operate, I have full of respect for everything that Guardiola has done in British football and before, but
Maximum disrespect.
But you go through January and you think, okay, we need to strengthen this team, and I'll take Mark Guehi, one of the best centre halves in the country. Take Antoine Semenyo, to be honest, one of the best, but also one of the most unique wide players in the country. And you give that second half performance against Spurs, you very nearly lost to Spurs, who are a little bit better over the last couple of weeks, but still dreadful. Shambles.
But then, like, so exactly on that point, because I agree with the football mannerisms of it, right? Like, this stuff is really relevant. It's all about application and stuff. If you're Guardiola, what can you then change? Is it tactical, or is it the players applying the tactics, or is it attitude and motivation? So if he's not getting them motivated in the same way, is that because he's not got the same control over them? Is it because they're just not that motivated? Is it things like, I mean, my whole idea of why they lost is nothing really tactical or like the players he's got. It's that the level just dropped because I think it was so simple in that first half.
Yeah.
It could be tactical though. Like Duncan was saying
for sure, yeah.
Totally that, like, one of the downsides of switching to their more transitional system that they play at the moment is they can't control the ball as well. They can't control the game in the second half in the way they need to.
This is what I was trying to get to, and I know I'm rambling around the point, but what I'm trying to say was things like they don't play in the old way where they control games completely, but they still do it at certain points.
Yeah.
And so there's something definitely tactical there. What I've read about, I mean, I've watched the game live, and I've been watching it again this morning, is that like Spurs stopped City being able to play through them the way they were in the first half.
Yeah.
But that to me is application rather than anything
That's
tactical.
the thing. Also, the 2 Tottenham goals result like from bits of skill, good delivery, scorpion kicks in one instance, but also there are little battles being lost within those moves. Certainly the second goal where Gallagher kind of barges through a couple of tackles before he plays his great cross for Solanke.
Yeah.
In the same way, I think Simon's, when he creates the goal for Solanke, the first goal, which maybe there might have been a foul, don't know.
Well, if you ask Rodri.
If you ask Rodri was pretty certain that it was a foul. But like, I think there was a failure there to take away Simon's space, to make it difficult for a player who has struggled at times with the physicality of English football. He was given a little bit too much time to kind of find that pass and create the opportunity.
Sure.
And so all of the tactical stuff, of course, is the overarching aspect of that. But then you've got to have the application, like JJ says, and it's not there. And it's quite hard to forgive in that situation, given, okay, Arsenal are favourites for the title, but you are still chasing a title. You're still within reach.
Yeah.
You still have to play Arsenal. And I don't know. Maybe it's the Tottenham fan in me thinking like, just finding it baffling that they could find a way back into that game against a team of that strength. But yes, I maybe we'll tag Steve Hankey into this. But I think we spent a lot of time talking about Arsenal, criticizing Arsenal and their style of play and their way of being effective. And so if I were an Arsenal fan, this is quite a leap I'm making here.
Wait. Close your eyes. Really get yourself into character. You live in Highbury.
I'm nervous about every game.
Yeah.
I'm very online.
Everywhere you look, you see enemies.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
go.
there.
Go.
I would be really annoyed by us going, Spurs managed to come back, even though obviously it benefits Arsenal in this instance. The criticism is disproportionate in my mind as the Arsenal fan. Whereas I think, given the resources at Pep Guardiola's disposal here, shouldn't be drawing with Tottenham when you're 2 up, shouldn't be losing to Bodo Glimt, shouldn't be losing to Man United. I'm looking at their fixtures now, drawing at home to Brighton. It's not great.
Okay, come back out of that mindset before you lose.
Yeah, it turns out I don't care about any of that actually. It's nice to be back.
Welcome.
Wasn't that great scorpion kick though?
That's sumptuous,
Ruben.
I feel like Guardiola is going to, if he stays and finishes his contract, he's going to want to spend a lot of money on new midfielders because Rodri, as good as he is, looks physically out of possession,
he looks spent, doesn't he?
Yeah,
it's sad.
He looks cooked, which is
that happens sometimes. And over time, they can come back.
That's true. I mean, but like his red card against Bodo Glimt was similarly like just being ghosted past. And then like Bernardo Silva again, like he's just how many miles has he got in his legs? He's amazing and a good captain. I think it was a good choice. But when you play those two together a lot, you do open yourself up for being exploited physically. Sorry.
Steve left the room. I don't know why.
Oh, he's back.
The mouse died.
Oh, the mouse died.
Now, to be clear to everyone, this is the mouse you use for the computer. That's not like not like a mouse that lives in.
I thought we were going to riff Jeff the mouse.
Oh,
yeah. He finally.
Yes,
died.
I'm very sad to say that. Yes.
I thought we still could.
R.I.P.
Go. What were you saying?
Oh, exactly on Ruben's point on the transfers. So like Guardiola wants to bring in more players. I think what we'd be looking at would be like the kind of characters to bring in, because the kind of characters that don't allow that, I don't know what the word is, but the collapse against Spurs or just the
complacency,
something like that. Like I think Kevin De Bruyne, as well as being one of the best players you've ever seen, is also the drive he used to give them in the middle of the pitch is just there. Bernardo Silva's kind of like the snapping captain now, going about like snapping and getting amongst people
like a scorpion,
like a bit like a scorpion. Actually, more like he's like a crab, but a crab on like tank tracks.
Yeah.
So,
amphetamines.
Yes, exactly.
Crab on amphetamines.
Something like that. But there's something about like trying to build this mentality that you can win things, which is very hard to do, and only the very best managers can do it, because that is man management and squad building rather than just like good players will get you wins, but to actually get like championships over the line, you have to have those really tough players.
Plus
I would
the two
say
great
this.
players that they just brought in, and then you can go Gahey and Semenyo, fantastic players, incredible craft, but they come from teams that don't win. Don't quote unquote win.
That is true. I mean, one of them did win a trophy last season, obviously.
That's right, of course.
But also, like let
me just take it back about Mark Gay. He's an all-time football winner.
Thank
the
you.
exact kind that I was talking about.
Thank you very much. I was going to say I would say this, but Gay is one of those characters, and like maybe at the moment they're missing players like Diaz and at the back. But Gay will be a long-term leader in that sense. Like he got given the captain's armband at Palace at the age of like 21 by Patrick Vieira, and has essentially been that ever since. And I think Rodri, when he went off yesterday in the 89th minute, so it's like, it has no real tangible effect, but I think he gave the armband to Gahey, who then presumably thinks this is too early for me to wear it and gave it to somebody else. But that is an indication that, like you say, that kind of character is top priority.
I was watching this thing and Michael Carrick, those Sky shows that they put on after the football when you just accidentally forget to turn it off. And you end up like, I've been here for 4 hours. And he was talking about when he went to Man United, and Sir Alex Ferguson was talking to him. He says like, well, you'll love playing for Man United. We do things differently here. This is very different. One of those classic things. And then he says, oh, it's a bit like what's happening with Chelsea right now. It's like, no, son, it's nothing like Chelsea. It's all like meant to be this thing. This is their standards. This is what you get to. And Guardiola is basically trying to do that, I think, with Man City. Make them, this is the standards, got to be here. But he has lost a lot of his dressing room that were so key for so long. And it could be that that's part of
Stone's
it.
another one seemingly never ever fit anymore.
Well,
It's a shame.
It's time to play the Rondo. Now, Seb, you haven't played the Rondo before, have you?
No.
Here's how it goes. I give you all, as a group, a category.
Yeah.
Then, within that category, you have to keep giving answers, correct answers.
Okay.
You go round in a circle. As soon as somebody can't say an answer or says the incorrect answer, they're out of the game.
Okay.
And the game continues. It's a last person standing sort of affair.
I understand.
It
Okay?
was quite
Thank you.
controversial last week.
Why?
We did club captains. And-
Well, do you want to say why?
yeah, well, I think JJ guessed Bruno Guimaraes, and obviously he wears the armband, but the correct answer technically was Jamal Lascelles, and
Yeah.
we weren't sure what we should do with that.
Well, I
Having
think
said that, Jamal Lascelles, he left Newcastle today, didn't
Right,
he? He's leaving.
leaving.
do you want to Leicester?
Huh?
Leicester.
He's going to Leicester.
Yeah.
Well, so if you said it a week later, you may have been correct. Who
Or
could
maybe I
say?
did.
I mean, you definitely didn't. I could.
Well, the nature of time means what was going to happen has already happened.
There's a lot of added
Well.
extra time, wasn't there, in the old?
No, I think JJ means the nature of time.
Oh.
Let's play.
Today's category for the Rondo is record Premier League transfers. It's of course transfer deadline day. That's the day that we're recording. We haven't mentioned that because it's fucking boring. But anyway, there have been, I can tell you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 record Premier League transfers. Every time a new person sells for more money, there's another one. Now, yes, JJ?
Buying or selling.
Oh, buying. The paid for.
So Premier League teams who have bought a player.
Yeah, that's the one.
So it's not the 20 most expensive.
No, it's the 20 that broke the record.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Just important clarification.
And JJ, we're going to start with you.
Alan Shearer.
Alan Shearer's number 1.
Paul Pogba.
Yes.
Jack Grealish.
Yes.
Rio Ferdinand.
Yes.
Nice.
Enzo.
Enzo, yes, of course.
Ooh, nice. Alexander Isak.
Alexander Isak. Did we not have that already?
No.
No.
No? Have I gone insane?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Moises Caicedo.
Moises Caicedo is not.
I want to play in this one.
He's not a record Premier League transfer. Enzo was the correct answer for around that period of
I
time.
thought
Were
he
they-
was first.
were they-
I thought Caicedo was first.
You're
and
out,
then-
JJ.
Were they the same window? I think they were.
I think
Yeah,
so.
well.
Or maybe 6 months apart.
So annoyed.
Stan Collymore.
Stan Collymore. Yes, of course. That was £13 million from Forest to is it Liverpool? Was it? Yeah.
It's not looking good, bro. Right, let me rewind to the Roman Abramovich era. Who did Chelsea spend loads of money
That's a
on
good shout.
immediately?
That's a great shout.
I wouldn't do that.
No. Okay.
I don't think that's a good shout.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm really.
Let's put some respect on Mourinho's name. I mean,
No.
don't do that. That's fine.
Okay, let's go Manchester City. Manchester City.
There's quite a lot. I mean, we've had a couple of Man United players, but there's a few more Man United players.
Really?
Yeah.
Juan Sebastian Veron.
Juan Sebastian Veron is one of those
Come on,
players. Yeah,
great
from
shout.
Lazio, 42.6 million euros at the time.
Didn't last very long.
That was
did it?
very nice. Is there a time limit, or am I just allowed to?
Well, I mean, there's a sort of
A
spiritual,
reasonable-
spiritual time
yeah,
limit.
okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's only the time limit extends if you speak aloud your thoughts as opposed to sitting silently, because this is an audio format.
At this point, deliberately timing down because of being silent.
5, 4.
No, that's not reasonable.
What?
Your silence is not reasonable either.
You've had longer than any other guest has ever had. I'll tell you that. Do you want a clue?
Yes.
You can't have one. That's not how the game works. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Say a name.
Is Alan Shearer on the list twice?
No, Alan Shearer is only on the list once. Wait.
I think he's on the list twice.
He's on the list twice. Oh my God, he is.
He's moved
Blackburn.
from Southampton
Of
to
course,
Blackburn.
his Southampton to Blackburn is the one I saw.
No, that's the one that
But-
JJ meant
but
actually. Wrong, I win.
Blackburn to Newcastle is also on the list.
Yeah.
Okay, Reuben. Oh, it's tight.
Virgil van Dijk.
Virgil van Dijk, he's not on the list. I think if it was Premier League centre backs,
Yeah.
then at the time,
I was thinking him and Maguire.
Yeah.
Because they were like in the region of like 80, weren't they?
would you like some other players you could have had?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
No one said Florian Wirtz.
Mm.
Of course,
Because I said Isak and in my mind, same window. Yeah.
sure. But
Yeah.
at the time when it
Yeah,
happened,
yeah.
he was. Okay. You could have had. Did we say Kevin De Bruyne?
No.
No, he was on there.
I should-
Angel Di Maria was there.
Right.
Fernando Torres was there. Liverpool to Chelsea. That was a big one.
right.
We did have Rio. We had Sebastian Veron. We didn't have Ruud van Nistelrooy from PSV.
Oh, so you have FREDRIK.
I wondered about
Wow.
Rooney when he went from Everton to United, but then I thought it was like 20.
It wasn't that much.
Wasn't
It was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
28,
he was really young. Was he 16? Or
Also,
something,
that
wasn't
was
18.
post Abramovich at Chelsea. So I think Crespo cost more than.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I was thinking was Crespo.
Yeah, I think
that was the
Crespo.
Chelsea player that I was going
That
to
was the
say
Chelsea
before
player.
Joe.
Yeah.
Well,
told me not to.
there is a Chelsea player here. There's only
Is it
only
Lukaku?
one Chelsea player. No, it's not. In 2000, it's when they bought him from
Lamps.
Atletico Madrid.
Oh, Hasselbank.
Oh,
Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. Yeah.
Okay.
Dwight York, you could have had to Man United.
Yeah, of course.
You also could have had Andy Cole to Manchester
Man
United.
United.
from
Yeah, yeah,
Newcastle, yeah.
And then two names, one of which I thought you might get, Chris Sutton from Norwich to Blackburn.
I was thinking of Mike Newell rather than Chris Sutton.
And from, I can't even see what team that is to Newcastle. It looks like Chesterfield or something to Newcastle. Darren Peacock.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, all
Good
right.
player.
Yeah. £5 million back
Makes
in
me think
1994.
5
Well,
million.
That's
Uh-huh.
a lot of money back then.
A lot of money.
So John Hall era, wasn't it? They're going nuts.
The first one listed on here, the first record transfer, 1992, Alan Shearer from Southampton to Blackburn, as discussed, that was for 4.5 million.
That was
Oh, these are all in euros as well, I should say. my
huge
bad.
amount of money.
Yeah, because it was like 3 something.
So 5 million euros for Darren Peacock. There we go. The Rondo. That was quite a tight one, wasn't it?
I
Who won
enjoyed
in the
that.
end? Who
Seb-
won?
Seb won.
won. Well done, Seb.
Thank you very much, Joe.
You're the oldest man here,
Yeah.
and you have the most accrued history of knowledge.
Fabulous.
And
Well
the
done.
least hair.
And
least
the
hair.
least hair.
I make up for lack of hair with useless Premier League knowledge.
Well, maybe listeners will now get advertisements about hair products. Could they?
Yeah.
Could they, Steve?
Possibly, yeah.
That'd be very clever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell
Yeah.
you what, but hair. Well, we're back from the advertisement break there. Hope you bought some hair products, whether or not you advertised them. Remember VO5? Remember that?
Still use that.
Is that
Yeah,
still a thing?
Not the wet look gel.
Do you put stuff in your hair, do you?
Yeah, of course I do.
Do you put stuff in
do
your
not
hair?
put stuff
Yeah.
in my hair. No.
Do you think I wake up with this lid?
Steve, do you put stuff in your hair?
I do not.
Yeah, me and Steve don't put stuff in our hair.
Do you wash your hair every day?
Yeah.
Me too. And you don't have to put anything
You
in your hair.
you probably don't need to if you don't use product.
Product is what you put in your hair.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be really
What?
funny if
You're
one
saying
day
you don't put stuff in your hair,
No,
right? But then, so why do you wash it every day?
because it gets greasy.
Well, yeah, my barber told me not to do that, but I still do because I use wax.
I've heard that your barber doesn't know what he's talking about. That's what I heard on the street.
I
heard
heard
that.
I heard from my barber
Yeah.
that the last time I mentioned him or that shop on this podcast, a listener thought, "Oh, great! I'm going to go and get my haircut where Reuben gets his haircut,"
Really?
and went and
Don't go there,
cited
listeners.
the podcast as his inspiration for going to that barber shop.
I've heard that barber. No. Something got cut about that barber. It was hair. No, not that.
Fine barber.
A fine barber indeed. Now, we've had our break. Let's come back and talk about football again. Oh, wait, I was supposed to say, wasn't I, that Mr. Peacock, he moved from QPR, not Chesterfield.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Let's be honest. Man United 3-2 Fulham. There we go. Very, very exciting. Late drama, of course, at Old Trafford, which saw Benjamin Sesko strike a winner for Manchester United mere minutes, right, Steve, after Kevin had scored an absolute pearl of a curling shot that looked to have secured a point for Fulham. What a thrilling affair.
An absolute pearl.
Well, again,
Shot.
right, Steve?
Punctuous.
A punctuous pearl. It's a third consecutive win in the league for Manchester United. It's propelled them into fourth place. Well, it's kept them in fourth place, 1 point ahead of world champions Chelsea, right, Steve, in fifth. How about that? I wonder if that long-haired man
2 games away.
will get to cut his hair. Fingers crossed. Good luck to him. It's really getting out of hand now, isn't it? Now,
What do you think he does after the haircut?
I think he's going to have to follow up with something else.
He's
isn't
going to
he?
come up with new shtick.
He's going to have to.
It's
right?
unfollowable, though. It's
It's-
like, the people who were tasked with making Jurassic Park 2. It's just...
I mean,
It's extremely feasible. They have their next 2 games are Spurs and West Ham.
but they have to win both. I can imagine. I can't. I don't think Spurs will beat Man United. I can imagine Spurs getting a point. West Ham is West Ham in West Ham.
I
or-
think the team more
It's in
likely at
London,
the moment
yeah,
is West Ham to
Yeah.
stop Man United.
I don't know. I don't think that's a gimme.
No, I'm not saying they'll do it, but it's very, very doable.
It's the most likely it's been, of course. In fact, I think for a long stretch of that poor man's time, Man United hadn't even got 2 wins in a row for like almost a year.
I felt like 5 was quite. He pitched it quite.
It was punchy,
boldly. I don't think if you ask like another,
you can't do less than 5
club,
though.
No, you can't. But if you were really bad and you were, for instance, like a Spurs, Palace fan, Fulham,
Chesterfield,
you'd never go 5 wins in a row. 5 wins in a row is like,
and it would have been
the sun at Uplands.
It would have been funnier if he pitched it at 3, because they still would. Now it would have taken this long. For it to happen still. So the hair would be equal length, which is funnier because it's a lower number. Did Amorim ever? He got like back-to-back wins once,
something like that.
But he used to time his wins so spaced out. Thomas Frank's doing the same thing, just in the right moment to save his job for a bit, and then
I want to take it back about Chesterfield, by the way, because in December they won 4 games in a row, so pretty close.
4 games in a row.
4 games in a row.
Just to let you know, I'm doing some urgent transfer business for a bit.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like David Ornstein's in the room, isn't it?
It's exactly.
Can you tell us what it is?
No, it's too important. No, it's
how
too
exciting!
And do
you want to leave the room?
No, I mean no, because I want you to feel my importance.
You want? I feel it.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you feel it, JJ?
I do feel it.
Ruben,
I like it.
I feel it.
Thank you.
I'm feeling it a bit more than I would like, to be honest.
Seb walks with an aura that he once did not have.
I also don't walk. I swagger.
That's true.
He does.
Yeah.
He strides.
Sumptuous swagger.
Yeah, sumptuous.
Before I feel like you would not bully him, but tease him more than you would now. And now there's like a layer of respect you've got.
It's not respect.
It's armor.
He's
got armor.
It's
aura.
It's
aura.
It's like he's bought a sort of a special kind of car oil and poured it all over himself. And you know that scene in what's the Tom Hardy jail movie? What is it?
Jail car.
Yeah, jail car. Bronson.
Yeah.
Where he covers himself in butter and then gets naked and covers himself in butter and tries to escape.
Is that so?
And the guards can't grab him.
Yeah.
It's
like jail car.
Like when Adama Traore puts baby oil on his arm so defenders can't grab him.
Exactly. I mean, that would have been the better example to use rather than the film Jail Car with Tom Hardy. Anyway, what are we talking about? Oh, yes. We're talking about Manchester United. 3 wins in a row. Good luck to that man and his hair. Who watched this one?
I did.
What did you think?
Really fun. Really enjoyed it. Fulham have this thing. I was trying to look for numbers and then forgot I was doing that last night after it. Right. I feel like Fulham keep getting back into games. They've got this thing where they managed to win. I've seen a few like last minute winners or equalizers or something like that. Harry Wilson always seems to be involved, and so there was always this feeling that even though United should have had this game kind of sewn up at 2-0, that they wouldn't be enough and they get back into it. And I've seen a bunch of criticisms of United's defending. So like when they press, they're leaving space in the middle, just like Ten Hag had with players can run through the middle. I've not seen that enough to go into it. I'm sure there's reasons for it, like them having played really well during the game and being a bit tired later on and maybe leaving those spaces. You're allowed to leave spaces now and again. I think it's probably fine. You can't be perfect all the time. But a great win.
A big win.
And again, another thing I've constantly seen is how when Gary Neville was talking to Sir Alex Ferguson in some interview thing, and he says, he points out why it's worth like chucking players forward at the end to get that win, because the feeling in the dressing room afterwards, like that's what you can build success on.
It can't be bought, that feeling.
Yeah,
it can if you buy Andy Cole and Dwight York.
I guess so, but you still have to win those games. But it's galvanizing, and it's just like Conor Gallagher inspires everyone around him by running around everywhere.
Sure.
Those wins will just fire you up and make you feel like that. And there's a sense that like I think Man United just feel a bit more real now. I keep thinking about all the stuff we've been through with Ruben Amorim and the system and all that sort of stuff, and I wonder what it is. And Carrick's, because he's got those wins, he's got a bit of people can believe that he knows what he's doing.
He's got a sumptuous swagger about him.
There's something about that, right? Because you'll get that aura just from having the things, and because Man United are playing in the way they are supposed to, people can buy into it more easily, and so you're more likely to commit further to what you're being told to do.
Yeah,
and maybe this won't come across and I'll get pelters from everyone online like normal, but there's something about what they're doing now, as simple as it is, that just makes much more sense. And I can see why the players work better in that. Little things like, I mean, you pointed out in the text group that they were playing a back 3 at times. And they kind of were, but that's normal to have a 3-2-5 shape in possession. That's everyone's been doing that for like 20 years. But if you have like a fullback in that position, they're playing, Dallo was deeper in this game. because they don't have a left winger, an outside winger. So Shaw had to be the natural width there. So that makes absolute sense. And you still want a 3 or a 2 or a 2-3 in your back midfield line. But they had Cunha was naturally going to come inside. So Carrick's just put, it might be more complicated than this, but I think he just put the best players. He knows they're going to go into those positions anyway. Cunha wants to roam around everywhere. Fernandes wants to be in amongst it as well. You just create like a shape around them, so you've got a bit of protection. Then Cunha can make things happen. Fernandes can make things happen. They've got people that can come and deal with it if everything changes over and they can fall back. And then you get Fernandes in those positions that he wouldn't have been in under Ruben Amorim, and he's able to dummy a defender and put a cross in to let them win the game. And then that's them with momentum, and now they're looking like they're going to easily finish Champions League. They could push for third.
Maybe they could. I mean, I think I wrote a couple of things down. One of them was just Fernandes.
He's unbelievable. I did a short on him this morning. Yeah, he could break the all-time assist record in the league. He's got 17 goals and assists. Yeah, he's got 17 goals and assists this season already. There's 14 games left.
Right.
His record in the Premier League was 30.
Is it Henry that holds the record?
For assists is 20.
20, yeah.
I think Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De
matched
Bruyne.
Thierry Henry and De Bruyne both in 20. Yeah, you're right. Ozil on 19. So Fernandes is on like 12 now. So it's not inconceivable that he does that throughout it. But what you see when his decision making is superb.
Ruben's playing footsie with me under the table. But
sorry.
I'm always worried about doing that as well. Playing in that more advanced position where you want him to be. So he just moves into spaces at the right time. So he was. Yeah. I looked through all those numbers as well for the last season. Under Amorim, it's only 3 games under Carrick, right? So you can't really go with the numbers that show the difference between the two. It's not right because it's played Man City and Arsenal. Well, they played Man City and Arsenal as well.
Yeah,
but he was playing more long passes under Ruben Amorim in that time. It makes sense because if you're deeper, you're more involved with progressing play. So he's still pulling the strings for United under Amorim, but from a deeper position. But he wasn't always just sitting deep next to the central midfielder. He was still pushing forward. If you watch any games back, he was still in the final third. It's just then that left a bunch of space in the middle of the pitch that people were taking advantage of when they were counter-attacking them. So,
exactly. So it's not necessarily like a massive transformation of shape, but the players who comprise it. Like you were saying about Shaw going in so that Cunha can tuck in. Like in theory, in the old 3-4-3 shape, Cunha would be operating in the same spaces and he'd have an overlapping wing back. But like you're saying, Bruno Fernandes is now able to play as a 10 with the protection of an extra central midfielder behind him rather than having to be one of them.
That's kind of it. And then that's what I think is meant to happen in the Amorim thing is that one of the central defenders who are just never going to be able to do this with the ones they've got, they step into midfield so you get that protection, but they didn't do that. So they didn't have that thing. So then Fernandes exactly has the protection around him, but he has bodies closer so he can then combine. And when you get really clever, talented players, get them close together. Get them close together, they can bounce passes and they can create stuff. And so if you're it's like not the antithesis of it, but what Arteta's got is highly structured. People have to do things within the rules, and it's so well thought out that they're basically impossible to do anything against. And they do the same patterns. You see it really well coached. But if you have players who can create on the fly, you can't. How do you coach against that? You can coach them to defend things in certain lines, but if players do things you don't expect, like Cunha suddenly being on the right wing and Fernandes in the right wing, how do you defend against that in the moment? Because you can maybe anticipate it would happen, but you've got to bring a player over, which disrupts things elsewhere. And there's something I like about it. It feels quite freeing. I have no doubts that opposition managers will have seen enough of Carrick's football now to be like, I think they'll do this, we can stop this.
Sure.
And they'll find ways against it. That's what happens at this elite level of coaching.
One negative potentially was that in a game like this, where it was a bit more open and United were a bit more on the front foot than the previous two, so that Maguire, who was absolutely unbelievable against Arsenal, maybe looked a little bit exposed with all of that space behind him. He gave away the penalty, I think, didn't he? So, and he missed a fair bit of this season, but kind of was exposed in a similar way against Brentford. So in some games, I think Maguire is absolutely brilliant for what they need, but in others, they're missing De Ligt, I would say.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Well, here's the things I wrote down because we've been saying for 2 weeks now. Have you done your transfer business, Seb?
Yes.
Yeah? Is it successful?
It's not, I have to stress, it's not just a player possibly terminating a loan. It's much more important than that.
Really?
Yeah, it's really important.
Wow. Is it the kind of thing that when people listen, but no, I'm not going to ask you to give any more details.
It is so massive that I don't want to...
Listen. Is it, if it were to happen, is it the kind of thing that when people hear the news tomorrow, they might listen to this episode and go, is that what he was talking about?
They would think, God, that guy's important.
Yeah, he's touching. He's got fingers in every single pie.
It's not even that you're reporting on things that other people are doing. It's like you're actually a participant.
It's not even football either. It's about Elon Musk.
It's transcendent. Well, no, it's not. No. But it's transcendent in similar but very different ways.
Is it the Hertha Berlin player going to Aberdeen? Is it? No.
Not that massive.
Wow.
No.
Incredible. How
Although-
exciting. I can't wait to find out. Anyway,
It definitely won't be disappointing when people find out. Definitely.
very quickly, we've been billing this game, the Fulham game, as the game where we'll learn about Man United because Arsenal and Man City are big teams and they don't count, whatever. So I only learned 3 things. One of them we've already talked about, which is that Fernando should just play higher.
Who?
Fernando.
That's
what I call him. Fernando. It wasn't an accident. I meant it. Fernando.
Yeah.
Bruno Fernando should play higher forward because he's just really good, isn't he? He won the game. Here's the other thing I learned. Now, this is the negative thing, I think. I agree with everything you said, JJ, and you, Reuben. I think they're a good team. They're playing exciting. I think this way suits them better than the last way. I will say, I don't think this run is going to last. I think both goals that they scored, the set piece goal a little bit more consistent and regular because they're one of the better set piece teams in the league. The Cunha goal is just out of this fucking world. Like the angle is
nice.
If he takes that shot more than 10 times, he's maybe missing.
I know,
half
but
of them.
It's
He did
higher
that for Wolves, yeah.
higher percentage than the one he scored against Arsenal. Though,
Yeah,
isn't it?
but
Yeah.
there you go. There's another example. My point is that of the goals they've scored in the last 3 games, some of them are just like ridiculous, almost to the point where there will be games where they do not score.
Well,
those
it's not
goals.
consistent. It's not sustainable. But I
They
would
could have
also
lost this
add,
game.
and to go against like a lot of things I've said over the past like 15 years of my career, whatever, is that when you are a team like Manchester United, you can afford players like Matthias Cunha who can do that sort of stuff.
Sure.
And that
But
does
he can't do it
happen.
100% of the time.
I know, but like Man City were built for years around passing the other team to death and controlling and squeezing them. And sometimes it'd just be like De Bruyne is like, and he's just like go and launch it or something like that.
Sure.
And that's, if you have players that good, you can do stuff like that. I agree. It's not sustainable, but I don't think football should be this thing where you constantly sustainably create these things because the opposition coach's job is to stop you from doing that. And so eventually, if that was how football worked, it would all be 0-0 always.
Well,
JJ Bull tells Man United fans to not enjoy this. That's what I took from that.
the opposite. I think he's
they
saying
love
they
me,
should
yeah.
enjoy it, and I'm saying they shouldn't enjoy it.
I'm going to give them another reason to enjoy it because
Yeah.
the Šeško goal was...
Yeah, this is my third point. It's vibes.
Yeah, vibes, sure, but it's also really encouraging because that's the kind of goal where you think, okay, the player is starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. He doesn't ever look at the goal when he takes his touch. There's a lot of instinct involved. It's very RB Leipzig, that sequence. And Šeško, I feel a bit sorry for him because he had nothing to do with that transfer fee.
No.
He was probably, I thought he moved a year too soon. And the tendency in the market is just to overpay for young developing players and potential now. And so he's kind of been labouring under the weight of it a little bit, but that was a really nice finish.
Well, the thing that I thought was most interesting about that moment was obviously the goal that he scored, fantastic for him. He runs over to the sideline. A couple of substitutes there are warming up. The first player over to him, Joshua Zirkzee, who's laughing and smiling and hugging him. And I think there's a player on the outside of the squad who there's been, open talk about the fact that he might leave the team at some point. It's not working out. If he's so happy for Šeško for scoring when his own situation is what it is, I think that's suggestive that there's good vibes
And in
the
theory,
team.
competing for the same position, right?
Sure,
Like,
in theory,
he'll
competing for the
think
same position,
I should play instead of him.
Yeah,
that's what
but
he'll be thinking.
To me, that suggests that everyone's getting on and having a good time.
Well, I think the release of pressure. So like the pressure's been building for so long, the weight they carry, those Man United players, the scrutiny they get from people like as us, and actual like important people who are higher up, who constantly talking about it. It's what everyone talks about all the time. So when you're finally getting wins, it feels like, so when I watch them now, I recognize that this sounds so football man-y and like I was in the class of 92, but it just feels like what I remember Man United being like they're going to beat you. Like I think,
that's a good point.
and I have the curse, and I think the run will go on.
The Man United fans don't want you to say this because of the curse.
I know I have the curse, but and also I'm terrible at analysis in football, but I feel like, I feel like they're sort of there.
I think it's a good point. And I also think like the difference in getting out from underneath the lose the 2-goal lead thing versus the 3-2 victory, that's about as big a swing as you can get. And I think also I feel a freshness to it. Like I felt like with Amorim, a lot of the kind of malaise is about there's nothing left to say. There's just nothing left to say. Nothing changes. There's no dramatic shift. There's no new storylines. It's just a kind of it's a trudge towards the end of the season. Whereas with Carrick, I don't know what Michael Carrick is, and I don't know what Manchester United's Michael Carrick is going to be, or what happens in 6 months' time. I don't know any of that, but it's different, and there's just more enthusiasm in just talking about it.
Sure.
And I think it'd be naive to think that wasn't at least a little bit. That doesn't affect the players a little bit, because at the moment all the old cliques have been broken down. No one doesn't get on with the manager anymore. Nobody's been bombed out. Everything's fresh. It's a new start, and there's a little bit of that to the way they play.
It's the same as any workplace.
Exactly that. I know, right? Can you imagine if
a toxic leader who kind of rules
by fear?
And then once they're out the way and there's much more of a kind of, you're allowed to kind of relax.
Praise.
You do better work when you're not scared.
When you do something good and you have a good idea and you think, I've had a really good idea and have executed that well, and then someone just walks off with the credit.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
Yeah, I know all about that, Seb.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah. Enjoying your career, are you?
Yeah, loving it.
Now, you know who else is enjoying his career?
Hear you. Yes.
Wait, let me ask you again then. Do you know who else is enjoying his career? It's Liam Rosenior. Liam Rosenior, who is continuing his impressive results. You've picked your phone up again. God, it really is like hanging out with David Ornstein. My God, he can't even hear me now. He's singularly focused on whatever Zweite Bundesliga transfer he's about to exclusively announce. Congratulations.
Hey, those loans to Dinamo Dresden will not report themselves.
Anyways, what is it?
Not in English, at least.
It's 5 victories and 6 or something. I don't know. I'm making it up off the top of my head. It's something like that. But right, Steve, Chelsea kept the pressure on in the race for Champions League football with a last gasp victory over West Ham United. That was, of course, Chelsea 3-2 West Ham United. The Hammers, the Irons, were in a controlling 2-0 lead heading into half-time. But Chelsea roster back? What did you mean there, Steve, when you said roster back?
Steve mistypes quite often in the script. It's very, very funny to try and decide.
Roster back. We could assign a meaning to that.
Sure.
They've won 7 on the bounce.
It could become like company
7 in a row.
7.
I believe he plays on the left wing for St. Pauli.
Roster back.
Yeah.
Roster back. Yeah, Chelsea's.
Do you know what I
roster
remember
back.
now? They roared back as well.
They roared.
Yeah.
Good Lord, that's quite different.
Yes.
They roared back to take the win. Now, the loss further depends. West Ham's relegation. Did you write this at 2 a.m, Steve? This is very.
I may have
Deepens.
tweaked it on my phone.
He meant deepens.
evidently.
He meant deepens.
Deepens, yeah.
The loss further deepens West Ham's relegation doom. Sad for me, with the East London side 5 points behind Nottingham Forest, who also have a game in hand, which they play tonight. Do they play that tonight?
No, Forest played yesterday.
So they don't have a game in hand anymore, do they? They still have a game in hand?
Still have the game in hand, but they yeah.
My lunch
Do
is
they?
slipping ever further
Yeah.
from my grasp. Good Lord. Okay, well, there we go. I mean, this
Sorry,
was...
no, that's
They don't.
why did I?
They don't have a game. Well, they did.
Everyone-
they probably
everyone-
did when you wrote it, Steve.
Sunderland and Burnley have a game in hand.
Which
tonight,
that's
I think.
tonight. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the one.
That's just tonight.
Yeah.
By the time people listen to this, they won't have a game in hand anymore.
Correct.
No, there's no games in hand. Everything's... Don't worry, Steve.
Everything's in hand.
We won't
All of this
remember
got
this in your appraisal. Now, this was one of the more entertaining games of the season. Did you watch this one?
Yeah, I loved it.
Tell us about it, Reuben.
I thought it was so good. Chelsea were pretty poor in the first half, and West Ham.
They were shit in the first
Yeah,
half.
West
They
Ham-
were not pretty poor. They were shit.
West Ham took some good goals, but Liam Rosenior made really proactive changes. I was watching in a bar with a friend, so less of an analytical eye,
Right.
but from a kind of enjoyment and ebb and flow point of view, we enjoyed it. And my friend suggested the exact subs that Liam Rosenior made. He brought in Cucurella, João Pedro.
That's what you said as well, JJ.
Yeah. João Pedro's header reminded me a bit of a goal that Cavani scored once for PSG against Celtic, because he's used the side of his face to put it back across the goal.
Yeah.
And it also reminded me of when Azpilicueta used to play that cross to Morata at Chelsea. They used to combine for that a lot.
Cavani was always scoring with his face, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I feel like he scored with his face quite a lot.
2018 World Cup back post.
Yeah.
No one expects it.
No.
Chelsea were really good. But my favourite part of the game was the complete head loss at the end when
That was amazing.
when Adama Traore throws Cucurella to the ground like a toy,
That's
and
so
then João Pedro didn't like that, so
Yeah.
thought he'd give the strongest man
Did not-
in a 10-mile radius
Not think it through
a push
at all.
down a slope and saw his life flash before him as Adama Traore marched back towards him.
Tadibo got sent off.
Jean-Claude Todibo got sent off for grabbing João Pedro. That was like
he looked like
he
he
had
lost
to
his
go.
head
He
as
completely
well.
had to go.
The commentary team were almost talking with concern about him in the time afterwards because the camera was just fixed on him and his eyes were like crazy.
Yeah,
he was so angry.
But I'm
still,
not
you
sure
could
what
see it.
I can't actually remember what kicked it all off. I think maybe Cucurella like barging into
It was Cucurella being a little grabby and annoying.
Cucurella being Cucurella.
He's just being Cucurella.
Yeah, he's just being himself. But I think, am I right in thinking that Areola came up to join the fracas or fracas?
Yeah, I think so.
But then
tried to.
He tried to. They were going to book him, and he was like, "No, I've come up for the corner." Or
Yeah.
something.
I think there's a bit of like we've just conceded the 93rd minute winner in that as well, and this has not been a good day so far.
Enzo Fernandez loves a late run into the box, doesn't he?
He does.
Something about Chelsea number 8's doing that.
Well, there we go. Chelsea. I mean, 5 wins in a row for Chelsea in all competitions. Right, Steve? Is that also wrong, Reuben? Did you say 7?
So maybe it's 5 under Rossinier, but
so the last time they lost was against Arsenal in the first leg of the League Cup.
I misread that result.
So,
misread that result.
Got
It's
it.
not 7, it's 5.
We're all on fire today, aren't we?
5 wins in a row for Chelsea in all competitions. Haven't lost, as Steve says, since that 3-2 defeat to Arsenal. They play this week, don't they? Is it
Tuesday evening?
Tuesday evening, they've got the second leg of that. Very exciting. So good news for them. Still challenging hard for 4th place there. Less good news for West Ham, for whom also results elsewhere didn't go very well, did they? Forest drew with
Palace.
With Palace.
I was there.
Maybe the worst result for West Ham. Pretty bad. I was excited when they were 2-0 up. I thought, great, I'm going to get that lunch, that sweet, sweet lunch. I don't think you guys understand what this lunch means to me.
I understand.
I feel like an iron now. I am an iron. I'm a fan.
I need this explained to me.
I have a lunch-related wager
with JJ.
No. With a friend who doesn't work here.
Okay.
That West Ham
is it Diego?
Yeah, it's my friend Diego. Yeah, that West Ham will stay up, and he thinks West Ham will get relegated. Now, admittedly, I made this bet in December after I watched West Ham play against Brighton, and they lost that game, but they played quite well. And I thought, oh yeah, they look like they're going to stay up. I didn't even look at the table when I made the bet. I didn't realize what a climb that was going to have to be. Having said that, I think it's absolutely crazy this season, the strength of the teams that are in that relegation battle. Chelsea were bad, as described. West Ham were great in that first half.
But they had more about them. Like they're battling for arguably so much more. Like it's just survival, which I think you're going to try harder. If you have the chance of winning like £100,000 or to stay alive, and that is your choice.
Yeah.
You know?
I'd go for the 100k.
I would also, but I think I'd
be happy to die at any time.
Well, maybe I've not done this well. How would it be in a situation where...
it would be very Squid Game, isn't it? Because you're doing both.
How have I ended up in this situation?
Surely you're comparing your life exists as it does, you're fine, but there's an opportunity to win 100 grand. How hard do you fight for that versus I'm going to kill you? And you have to fight me off. It's not one or the other.
I think because if you asked me to kill a man for £100,000, I don't know if I could.
Well, it depends which man.
I could certainly try.
Yeah.
But if it was to save my own life, and
I'm going to say I think you'd be a bad killer.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I want you to think.
Right.
And that's why I would be able to if it was you'd be
the worst assassin ever.
I'd be amazed by it. It'd be great.
It'd be terrible. I don't know why. It's something about
people would be like, "What's that noise?" Be like, "Bird can."
And this is exactly why I would be the best assassin. And somehow he's talking about West Ham. Oh yeah, and the changes I thought they'd make at half time, exactly linked to what Reuben said.
Oh yeah.
Was based on that. Like you put players who who have more about them. Joe Pedro's going to get in amongst it. It's just football man stuff. I'm turning such a football man.
West Ham.
He's much better than Delap, isn't he, Joao Pedro?
I like Delap a lot, honestly, but Pedro's just bigger and more. It's just something about him. And Cucurella is an absolute menace. You put him on, and he's like having Kanté in your team, just everywhere.
I can't stand Cucurella, but I am very aware.
Point, right?
He controls the game.
I'm very aware of the fact that if he played for my team and not Brighton, Chelsea, and beat England in a final, I would love him. So.
Yeah, and that's it. And I think Garnacho and Gittins, I just don't. Garnacho should be a superstar. He's got great technical ability, but there's just something about him that's not quite there. Gittins, I'm not
very hard on Gittins this weekend. They said,
because
he was subbed off as well, wasn't he, Seb, last week?
Yeah,
subbed off after being a sub on.
He's had a very difficult time, and I think you can tell how much his confidence is down. He's a good player. I've seen it. I've seen it, and I've seen it in the Champions League, I've seen it in the Bundesliga, and yes, there's a difference, but this is not a fair reflection of the player he is at the moment. So
I feel like also people love to use the not you, JJ, but on Twitter I saw this weekend, people love to use this as an opportunity to like talk about the Bundesliga tax as though they're defending the Premier League in some way. But we've seen other players come from the Bundesliga and be a success here. I know there's a tax. It doesn't have to be like this player is so shit.
It's really a Premier League tax because it affects anybody that comes to the Premier League from outside. It's also like the more you learn and the more examples there are of this in this current era, like you realize it's about the individual player. It's not necessarily about the situation. Like how does he deal with having to, in a lot of cases, put on some weight quite quickly? So you've seen that with Frimpong, seen that with Wirtz, seen that with...
You mentioned it with Xavi Simons earlier.
Xavi Simons is another good example. You have to go through that. How do you deal with being in and out of the team? How do you deal with the criticism? Also, how do you deal with becoming a much more of a central character than you ever were in Germany? And becoming a point of, you're being discussed on some pretty big media platforms. So there's a lot of variables there, which are based on individual personality. So I don't necessarily think it's about where you come from now. It's just how do you cope with it?
It's probably still, it's probably still a little bit relevant. But I think especially all those points on how he's dealing with all this, when you are like a winger or an attacking player and you're having to do you have to be super confident to try these things. But if you for 1 second doubt that I don't think I'm faster than that defender, I think and the Premier League, everyone is like the elite. So like if you're up against a defender, like I don't know if I'll go past him. I saw it in the Champions League. I think it was Champions League. Gittins was just passing backwards rather than taking them on. I don't know if he didn't think he could, or he just didn't trust his own ability. I think
or if he's been asked to, maybe.
Exactly. I don't know. So I think he'll come on. Like I also have seen him. He's decent, right? He's a good player, but you can see that it's just not happening from just now. I think Liam Rossignol seems like having never met him, but listened to quite a lot of him recently, and the things he says. I think he's this kind of person who would know how to get someone's confidence up and help develop a player, especially a young one. He seems like a really decent man manager.
I think he's going to really age the men that he's got in his team.
To age the men that he's got.
I think it's got to be quite difficult to be a Chelsea player because you've got a situation where, especially in those attacking positions, there's so much competition. So the things JJ's talking about, where you're playing backwards, you're afraid to make a mistake, you don't want to be a weak link. I think those things are intensified when you play at a club like that versus where he's come from, a Dortmund where there were other options in his position, but at the moment where he really broke through and where he really made his reputation, not really.
Yeah.
And so
stop. Put yourself back in the mindset of the Arsenal fan. Close your eyes. You live in Highbury. You're pissed off by everything. Open your eyes. What do you think about what you're saying right now?
I'm not listening. I'm thinking about refereeing conspiracy.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the end of the podcast. Okay. See you later. Yeah?
Points are bad.
Oh, Points are bad now. Time for points are bad. Now, what's happened last week? You'll recall, of course, that we predicted for the games Liverpool-Newcastle. Didn't even mention that on today's episode. There were so many things to talk about, wasn't there? 4-1. Congratulations to Liverpool.
And Florian Wirtz scoring again.
Played brilliant.
Commiserations to Newcastle.
Sure.
Yeah, if you like.
And also, we predicted for Man United 3-2 Fulham, a game that we did discuss. So, now, here's the totals this round. 1-1 Bart, incredibly, in last place, the 1-1 Bart for the week, adding 7 points.
Football's back.
Ruben and Kaya and me all in joint third place with 6 points. John came second with 5 points. JJ, you only added 2 points.
I won the week.
You did, because you said Liverpool would beat Newcastle 4-3.
Yep.
And it was 4-1. And you had a perfect prediction for Man Utd Fulham. Did you know that?
Absolutely, I did. And that's why I would be the perfect assassin.
You forgot that. Now, of course, that means that you are still in last place on 109 points. But the gap is slightly less now. I'm in second last place on 96 points. So just the 13 to make up. I believe in you. Kaya is on 92. Ruben's on 90. John's on 89. The 1-1 bot's still far out ahead, Seb, on 71 points. That 1-1 bot's
Alex will be so
good.
proud of that.
Very proud. Now, that means that we're breaking things up a little bit at the beginning. John slipped ahead of you. He slipped ahead of you, Ruben. You've got back. Some work to do. Now, what does that mean? That means that me, you, and Kaya are all joint last for the week, but I'm last overall. So that means I get to pick from the games that are happening this weekend. Let me just see what they are?
I think these games pick themselves personally.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Are they both on Saturday? What's happening?
They're both on Sunday.
Wednesday and Sunday.
Brighton, Hove Albion, Crystal Palace. You think so? Do you?
Yeah. And then the big fixture at 4:30.
I'm not going for Palace. I will take Liverpool, Manchester City, which is 4:30 on Sunday, Steve. But also, I'm going to take the early game on Saturday. Manchester United versus Tottenham.
Are you?
Big surprise?
Yeah.
That is more fun, to be fair.
I'd say that's a little bit more fun than Brighton and Hove Albion versus Crystal Palace in the big fake pretend derby that no one really cares about, you know? Yeah?
The Bird Derby.
I was just thinking we're getting towards the end of the episode, Reuben, and I haven't pissed any specific fan base off yet.
Yes,
So
you
I thought,
have.
Who did I piss off?
I don't know. It felt like quite a few.
I'm sure I'll have
was
done
a
that
few.
for you.
Arsenal.
No, Arsenal, they're beyond being pissed off. They're surely not allowed to be pissed off. They're going to win the league.
Anyway.
Doesn't stop them booing, though, does it?
What?
They booed. Do you not remember when they booed the other day? They booed, didn't they?
When they lost to United, they booed.
Yeah.
They booed.
That did happen.
Yeah.
They
that's right,
booed,
yeah,
didn't they?
Yeah.
They booed.
Yeah.
Arsenal fans, some of them.
Top of the league.
Small number.
Top of the
them
league. 6
booed.
points.
They booed. Top of the league.
Anyway, should we pick some predictions?
Well done, guys. Now, I thought it was going to be Crystal Palace and Brighton fans that
I
I
turned
said,
it around.
but it wasn't. You jumped in front of your
Yeah,
fan base there,
I took a bullet.
and instead we. Do you think this bit's going to survive, Steve?
Uncertain.
Uncertain.
Yeah.
Something maybe got cut.
Yeah.
Could be to protect me. Now, what are we doing? I'm predicting first, aren't I?
Yes.
Yeah. Manchester United, Tottenham. Oh,
Do you get to pick the games and predict first?
yeah. That's,
Right,
that's
okay.
always what happens.
Right.
The picker. The picker is the predictor.
Okay.
Can I pick for somebody? I think I should pick.
No, you'll be picking for somebody.
Oh,
You'll be
great.
picking on behalf of John.
Great.
And Steve, you'll take Kaya today.
Hockey.
Yeah, but we don't need to hurt John's knees
It
anymore.
looks
Yeah.
like John anyway. so-
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I can pass with John.
John's hips and knees, they're all broken.
If John and I gave each other our respective passports, do you reckon we'd be able to?
Yeah,
I don't know
100%.
about that, but I think if you were in a room of people who'd maybe seen one or two podcasts, you could definitely convince them that you were the other.
Sometimes people do think I'm him.
Yeah.
And then when that happens in real life, I behave really obnoxiously.
No, well, the
But
perfect.
are you
because
John McKenzie? Yeah.
That's
And then
exactly how
just
he behaves.
Absolute diva.
Yeah. Well, yeah. In fact, you're doing, being truthful to him.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Christ alive. I have no idea what the result of this game is going to be. I'm going to say 2-1 Manchester United. And then for the other game, Liverpool versus Manchester City, I would take 1-1 if the 1-1 bot didn't exist, but it does. So I'm going to say Liverpool are going to win this game 2-0. And then next week's going to be a big talking point about how Man City are actually back in the depths of their despair. Now, who's next? I believe it's Kaya. So Seb, over to you.
No.
Please.
He's Kaya. He's John.
Yeah.
Oh, you're Kaya.
We just had a whole
you're
bit
John.
about
My
how
bad.
John and Seb are the same person.
Who cares? Right. Steve. Oh, Christ alive. Man United versus Tottenham, Steve.
I do also think United will win that 2-0.
2-0. Okay.
Yes.
Liverpool, Man City.
I also think Liverpool will win that 2-1.
Seems like a little bit of a copycat over there.
But flip reverse
A
it.
little bit
Yeah.
copycatting. Okay, now it's you, Seb, no, it's not. It's Reuben. Christ alive. Reuben?
Yeah. Manchester United 1.
Yes.
Tottenham Hotspur 0.
Okay, yeah. And then for Liverpool, Man City.
Liverpool 2. Manchester City 1.
I think that's just been
That's
said.
gone, yeah.
Just gone.
Sorry. Liverpool 2. Manchester City 2. Was
Yeah,
that
that's available.
Okay, great.
You can have that.
I'll have 1-0 and 2-2.
Yeah, okay. Now it's you as John, Seb. Are you ready?
Yeah.
We first want Manchester United versus Tottenham.
I would say Manchester United 0, Tottenham 2.
Okay, yeah. And then we want Liverpool versus Man City. All Man City victory score lines are available, I should say.
Yeah,
Somewhat surprisingly, everyone has gone with Liverpool.
Yeah, I'm going to take Liverpool 1, Manchester City 0.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, 1-0 to Liverpool. How about that? We all think Liverpool are going to win, except we've left all of the best options here for Mr. Bull, Monsieur Bull. Manchester United versus Tottenham Hotspur as a starter.
Well, as we know, football is back, and officially my score lines that seem silly are actually pretty good
Mm-hmm.
nowadays. So that will be 4-1 1
to Man United.
Yes.
I mean, it very well could be.
That's what's going to happen.
Liverpool, Man City.
Well, it's going to be Man City are definitely scoring 3.
Okay.
I think Liverpool are going to score 3 or 4. I'm going to say, for the spirit of the game, no, I think 3-all. 3-all.
3-all.
Yep.
You could have had 2-1 City if you wanted it.
I don't want that. I
You
want
don't
it to be
want that.
3-all.
You want 3-all.
Because that's what the score will be.
Fair enough. Okay.
This is how I get back into it to win.
Are you taking a photo of me for your transfer story?
No. My wife just called me and I declined her call. And then I explained to her, I'm doing a
Right,
podcast. Here's
right.
Joe.
Yeah. Got it. Got it.
He's sending your picture to Dresden Dynamos.
Is it the real end now?
Yes.
Okay, bye.